Hi guys, this is a somewhat belated follow-up on a request made by David from Media. I'm only getting around to it now. Okay, so the particular thing he asked me to address was he had some characters on the front of his DVD and he wanted to fade them into the background, which was mostly black. Okay, now it's straightforward enough once you have them cut out. We're basically going to use a gradient, and we're going to let the gradient fade from foreground to transparent. So everything in the foreground is going to be the full color image, and it's going to fade to transparent, and because it's fading to a black background, it's basically just going to fade to black. Okay, so it's straightforward enough. So you can see here on this layer here, I've got the original and I made a quick mask and turned it into a layer mask here. So there's the image there that we've cut out, right? So all we have to do is this. We want to select, there's a few ways of doing this, but we can do it with the oval tool, the elliptical marquee tool, or the rectangular. I'm going to start with the rectangular and just let you see how it looks. So I click on the rectangular tool and I've got a feather set here of about 10, right? Okay, so I'm just going to basically drag about halfway through her face and down to the right. Okay, now that essentially is what we want to fade out from about here to the far side. So it just fades into the background. Okay, now, okay, so we're going to go to our gradient tool, and you see that here the one I have selected is foreground to transparent. So that's what you're after. Now you can adjust this depending how much you want it to work or not. We'll give it a go just about there. You're gonna have to play around with this because it can be hit and miss, you know. Okay, so once we have that done, what we're going to do is we're going to hit another layer mask. We're going to put a layer mask onto a layer mask, and that's going to create this one here, and then we're going to drag. Now you never get it right if it's right to left to right, but I'm going to drag from right to left. Okay, there you go. Now if I deselect that, there you go. So she's kind of fading into the background, and that's okay. Now if you also wanted to do the rest of the image, the way I'd recommend doing it, let me go back here. Okay, the way I'd recommend doing it is to use the elliptical marquee tool, and again, well, that's a serious feather. No, 10. Okay, so we'll drag it over her just kind of like that. Let me just move it to the right. Select transform selection. We're just going to move it to there. So it's going to fade out either side of her. So watch this. You go select. We set it. Okay. So I don't want the gradient to be here. I want it to be on the outside. So I'm going to go select inverse selection. There it is there. Okay. Same thing again. I hit the layer mask tool. I go over to my gradient again, and I'm going to drag out. So what it should do is fade everything outside of that oval with a feather of 6. Okay, so you could just keep dragging it down until you get the desired effect that you want. Oh, that could be a bit too much there. We go select and deselect. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. Now, if it was me personally, hang on a second, let's just reselect that. Let's try it once more on the arm. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Yeah, okay. So you could burn some of this out if you wanted, or you can just keep on going until you essentially get the effect that you're after. Let's try it just on our jack. Oh, okay, we'd have to move it over to move it over. Okay, but you can see it kind of works. So the idea is not to have any of the outside of her, any of the edge visible, because it wasn't a great picture to start out with. I had to blow this up about 7 times to fit it on, so it wasn't a great image to begin with, you know. But give that a go. It's straightforward enough. Once you have it cut out, essentially just use the marquee tool to select, put a slight feather on it so you're not going to get a straight hard edge on it, and then go into the gradient tool and choose foreground to transparent, and then play around with dragging it in various directions and see what you get. All right, if you have any problems with that, get back to me, but hopefully that will give you somewhere to start working on this.